Hi friends, thank you very much for clicking ABC Learning English Solution. Friends, today on this podcast, we are going to discuss about one of the most important section of learning English language. My dear friends, on this part, we'll discuss about rearranging, or you can say word order, or it also can be said reordering. The reordering means reordering the words in a sentence. Now, my dear friends, this portion is very essential for all of the learners. And if you are a CBSE 10th student, this video is going to be very helpful for you because you have to face 4 questions from this section and you will get 4 marks for it. 4 questions, 4 marks. So if you are a student of class 10, obviously this video is going to be very helpful for you. So my friends, in the exam, the words are given in this way. First of all, there is football, then he, then plays. That means it's not a sentence. We cannot call it a sentence because these group of words do not have the proper meaning, or these are unnatural. So we have to make it a sentence. Sentence means it must be a meaningful group of words, and we have to write down this one: he plays football. So in this part, the sense is clear, or this group of words are meaningful. That's why it will be called as a sentence. Here, he is the subject of this sentence, this is the verb, and this is the object. Subject, then verb, then object. It has a complete sense. That's why it is called a sentence. So my dear friends, we have to place these words properly in this way. And that's why we have to know, actually my dear friends, there are no such rules for rearranging. But we have to create our own rules. We know the system, how the words or how the sentences are formed. And as per the rules which are studied earlier, based on this fact, we will discuss about this thing. My dear friends, the words in English sentences always follow the proper system. Actually, the words do not play hide and seek in the sentences. They always follow the basic structure. Here, in this sentence, you can see, first of all, there is the subject, after that there is the verb, and after that there is the object, or maybe the complement. Actually, my dear friends, this is the basic structure of English language. First of all, we have to place the subject, then the verb, then object or complement. Complement here means, my dear friends, some of the sentences you can see there is no such object, but some extra words are there which are used to complete the sense of the sentence. Just let's look at this example. I went there in the evening. In this sentence, you can see this part, in the evening. This is not the object of this sentence, rather it's a time phrase, and it is used as the complement of this sentence, because this part helps to complete the sense of this sentence. We cannot break this part. Subject, then verb, then object or complement. This is the basic structure of English language, and this is for assertive sentence. This is for assertive sentence. Today we will discuss about the assertive sentence only, because you know in some other sentences, in interrogative sentences, the structures are quite different. Quite different means that at first you have to place this verb, maybe the helping verb, and after that we have to place the subject. So this is the basic structure. subject, verb, object or complement, and we will follow this structure only. And by using this structure, we will try to solve these problems. Let's look at the other part of this video. Now, my dear friends, we will try to think the structure in some other ways. You all know about the WH words. You know about this term, WH words. WH words means those which are used for making question. There are two types of question. One is called yes/no type. Yes/no type questions are, and the other one is called WH type question. Actually, in yes/no type questions, all time the sentence is started with auxiliary verbs. But in this part, the question is started with WH words, just like who, what, when, where, how. You all know these words, and we will think about this part only. We will try to understand about the structure of the sentence by using these WH words. Let's look at this part. So, my dear friends, we can replace this term. Actually, my dear friends, from the given words, we can understand about the verbs. Verbs means there may be different types of verbs. There may be have verbs, there may be be verbs, or there may be dynamic verbs or the action verbs. And we can easily find out the action verbs from the sentence or from the given words. And if we ask the verb by who, we will get the answer of this subject. If we ask this verb who plays, the answer will be Ram. From this sentence, the answer will be Ram. So Ram is the subject. That means if I ask the verb by this term, the answer will be the subject. And think about this part. If we ask the verb by what, or sometimes to whom, the answer will be the object. Now, if we ask this verb, what does Ram play? Think about this one. We have got the subject and we have got the verb. Now I am asking, what does Ram play? The answer from this sentence is football. So it will be the object. That means answering the question of what. And my dear friends, if we think about the other WH words, just like this one, suppose when. So obviously it will inform us about some time. If we ask about where, it will inform us about some place. Ask by how, it will answer us by in which way. If we ask by why, it will inform us about the reason. I think, my dear friends, this part is clear to you. And if it is clear to you, then we will go to the next part of this video. Again, I am saying, who always answers the subject. Verb, we can find it out if we go through the words, if we go through the jumbled words. From there, we can identify the verbs very easily. And after that, if we ask the verb by what or whom, the answer will be the object. Next one, if we ask the verb by when, it will inform us about time. If we ask by where, it will inform us about place. if we ask the verb by how, it will inform us about in which way or in which manner. If we ask the verb by why, obviously it will inform us about the reason. And my dear friends, only these WH words can help us to reorder the jumbled words. Now my dear friends, for better understanding, I have made a chart. First of all, I have written subject. That means in this position, there may be a noun may be a subject, there may be a pronoun. Noun means any kind of name. Pronoun means the word which are used instead of the noun, you know, I, he, etc. Or there may be a noun clause. The entire group of words act as a noun, that is called noun clause. Or it may be a noun phrase, that means in the subject position there may be a noun phrase, or maybe a gerund or an infinitive. So my dear friends, in subject position you can see only these types of words. Now in verb position you can see these types of words. To be verb, that means am, is, are, was, were, or in future tense you can see shall, will. Then you can see to have verb, that is have, has, or in past tense you can see had. Or to do verb or the dynamic verb, that means the verb which shows action, maybe play, run, etc. You can see the modals can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, ought to, dare, need. All these are called modal verbs. And in this verb section you can see these types of words. And now in objective place, in object position, the same words like the subjects. That means a noun may be the object of a sentence, pronoun, noun clause, noun phrase, gerund, infinitive, all these words may be the object. So I just wrote down subject column. Subject column, that means the words which are there, the same words can be used as the object in a sentence. And the last part, that is complement. Here there may be time phrase, here may be place, here may be the manners or the reason. That means in the complement part there may be something about the time, maybe something about the place, or maybe something about the manner, or you can say in which way the action is being done. These types of words can be seen there, and the reason why these activities took place, or what's the reason of the activity, that will be given in the complement part. So my dear friends, this is the entire structure, this is the entire English structure. Out of this structure there is nothing. If you can remember all these things, there will be no such mistake in rearranging or word ordering. It is very much essential for the English learners. So my dear friends, for word ordering in English language, always we have to follow this structure. First of all, who, then what, then where, after that when, then how, then why. All time we have to follow this structure. Make it clear at first. We cannot break this structure. This structure is fixed. Here in this part, look at this part. This is for the subject. This is for the subject. And this part, what? Inside this what, there is the verb and also the object. That means from this part we will get about the verb and the object, and rest of the part, this is the complement. Complement. Here one thing I want to inform you about it, my dear friends. Complement here, complement. This means, this complement means the words which are used to complete the sense of the sentence. But if it is I, that will be a separate thing. Mind it, that will be a separate thing. It means praising. This complement means praising, or you can say admiration. That is a separate thing. I just informed you. So it is E, complement. I just informed you. So my dear friends, in this part, in this section, in this complement section, there will be these 4 WH words. First of all, where, then when, then how, then why. Now my dear friends, in a sentence there may be all these elements or not. Maybe in a sentence there are all these elements, or sometime not. If in a sentence you see, if you see that this part is not given, so you have to leave this part, then you have to follow this one, then this one, then this one. Or maybe it may happen that only subject part is there, or verb or object part is there, and only the reason is there. At that time we will ignore the rest of these 3 WH parts, or rest of this part. Directly we will go to this one. But my dear friends, we cannot break this structure, mind it. I am just gonna give you an example. Let's look at the example. Suppose the subject is I, and in this part, in this verb part, we wrote down went. Now the place, went to Kolkata. I went to Kolkata last Sunday. Look at this sentence. First of all, there is the subject, or you can say who. After that, went. That means this part, verb. No such object is there. Rather, there are the complements. So in this complement part, there are 2 elements. One is place. This is the place, or you can say where, and last Sunday, this is the time. So it means when. Now my dear friends, if we write down in this way, I went last Sunday to Kolkata, that will be a wrong sentence. We have to write down I went to Kolkata last Sunday, because I have told you we have to follow the structures. Okay, where, when, how, and why. Now my dear friends, if you write down these one, how did you go there? You can here write down by train. By train you can write down. So I went to Kolkata last Sunday by train. Why? Because I had to meet my friend. Think about this structure. So here you can see I have not broken this basic structure. I have written I went to Kolkata. Kolkata means place, answers of where. Then there is when. I have written here one time, that is last Sunday. Next, by train. That means it answers the questions of how. How did you go there? So the answer will be by train. And why at last? Why? The reason, because I had to meet my friend. This is the reason or the answer of why. So my dear friends, if in this sentence you can see this part is not given, so it's not a problem. I left this part. So I went to Kolkata last Sunday, then directly the reason, because I had to meet my friend. I think my dear friends, the structure or the sense of a sentence is clear to you. By using this structure only, we can solve all the problems. And my dear friends, one thing always we have to remember, only these two parts, in when and where. In these two parts, you can see, my dear friends, there are more than one element, same element. Suppose where. In this part, in a sentence, you can see there is the name of the village, then the district, then the state. Or in this part, you can see more than one time phrase, just like this one. Suppose, first of all, you got a date on 5th May in 2020. That means in these two parts, where here you can see there is the name of a village, there is the name of a district, and there is the name of a state. Here we can write down West Bengal. So if you get more than one names here in this place, in where section, if you get more than one words, on that case, from lower to upper or from smaller to bigger, we have to go on. Just look at this part. Suppose I live. Here I live. In this time frame, in this complement section, you can see three separate places are given. For this case, we have to go on from the lower level to the upper level, or lower level to the higher level. Look at this. Here only in this sentence there are only these phrases. I live, then this is the name of a village. Village is the smaller section. So I wrote down I live at Amatpur. Amatpur is the name of a village. Then another name is given in Burdwan. That means this is the district, bigger than this one, and after that in West Bengal. In this way we have to write down. First of all the smallest one, then the second one, then the biggest one. In this way we have to write down. The same thing in case of time phrase. You can see he was born. He was born. First of all the smaller section, that is the date. After that the month, that is bigger than the date, and after that the year, that means bigger than this one, bigger than month. So in this way you have to move on. We always have to remember it. First of all the smallest one, then the bigger, then the biggest. In this way we have to go on. Actually we have to move like the stairs from the lower to the upper level. I think my dear friends, the idea is clear to you. Now let's look at the example. So my dear friends, in word ordering, the words will be given in this way. in this way. So our duty is to find out the verb at first. So here you can see this is one of the verbs and there is another verb. So you got the verb. Actually this term bear, it's always used in passive form. That's why the auxiliary verb is given. So you got this one, was born. That means you have to place was born together. So we have got this one. Now you have to find out the subject from this group of words. So what may be the subject? Maybe subject may be Kolkata, subject may be Jorasako, subject may be Rabindranath Tagore. We all know about Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore is a famous person. We all know him. So think about it, my dear friend. Whenever we are saying something about born, so obviously this is the name of a place. This is also the name of a big city. So these words cannot be matched with the term born. So obviously, first of all, we have to write down this one, Rabindranath Tagore. This is the noun here. Or if you ask this question by who, you will get the answer. You will get the answer Rabindranath Tagore. That means I am asking this verb, was born. Who was born? Or here I am writing down who was born. So the answer from this section will be the name of a person, obviously. So that is Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore. So we got this one. This is the who. So my dear friends, we got the subject. This is the subject. This is the verb. Or here you can see there is no such object, but there are some name of the places. Name of the places means this section. Or something is there, days or the year. That means it answers. These are the times. So these are the times. That means for this section when. So we got the answers of when and where. These are there. But first of all, we have to write down where. You have seen this in the structure that first of all there is who, then what, then where. We cannot write down when. That means we cannot write down this date, time, nothing. We have to think about the place at first. Now friends, you can see two places are there. One is Jorasako, another one is Calcutta or Kolkata. Within these two places, Kolkata is the bigger city and Jorasako is a place, is a part of this city. So this one is smaller, this one is bigger. So first of all, we have to write down the smaller one. So Jorasako, and obviously it will carry a preposition, that is in. Jorasako is not a village, so it will be in. So in Jorasako, that's why you have to write down in Jorasako. In Jorasako, then in Kolkata. Kolkata, that will also carry a preposition, that is in Kolkata. In Kolkata. Now my dear friends, after that we have to write down the time. Here you can see two parts are there. One is 7th May, another one is 1861. That means this is the year and this is the month or date. And as it is given together, so we don't have any problem. If there is a slash between these two words, so after that, at first we have to write down the date. that means that is a 1 day, the smaller unit. After that, the name of the month, that means a month carries 30 days, so this is the bigger unit. And after that, the year carries 365 days, that means biggest unit. So first of all, we have to write down the date, and you know, my dear friends, before the date we have to write down the preposition on. So on 7th, then the name of the month, May, in 1861. So this is the complete sentence. This is the complete sentence. There is no such mistakes in this sentence. This is a complete sentence, and we have to do the same thing in the examinations or anywhere in our daily conversation or in examination, whatever it may be. We have to follow this structure. My dear friends, I think the system is clear to you. Let's look at the other example. Now, my dear friends, we will use all these elements and write down a sentence. Let's look at the sentence. First of all, we have to write down who. I am writing down the police. The police. Then in what part I have told you there is the verb and also there is the object. So verb, we write down verb. In case of this part, we can write down arrested. This is the verb, and arrested the man. This is the object. So we completed the first part who, second part what, and in this part we use both of these terms, verb and the object. Now we have to write down this element where we can write down the name of a place at the bus stop. Next, there is when. When we have to write down a time phrase, so we can write down in the evening. Then how, that means in which way the police arrested the person. We can write down by making a trap. By making a trap. Now that means we completed this one, how, in which way the police arrested the person. And after that there is the most important element, that is why. Why we have to write down some reason over here. So we have to write down the reason. So I am trying to write down the reason because he robbed the bank. Because he robbed the bank. Now look at this sentence, my dear friends. The police arrested the man at the bus stop. At the bus stop in the evening. This is the time phrase, by making a trap because he robbed the bank. So here you can see all the elements are used, and all the elements are used in proper rhythm. This is the most important thing for a sentence. My dear friends, I think this video is beneficial for you, and you can use this system in your regular conversation or in your practicing.